Tonight, prepare to embark on a culinary adventure that transforms humble ingredients into a dish bursting with flavor and comfort. A juicy hamburger steak, crowned with sweet golden caramelized onions and drenched in a rich, savory gravy. This classic dish, beloved in home kitchens and diners alike, is more than just ground beef. It's a testament to how simple, honest cooking can yield extraordinary results. Whether you're craving a hearty dinner after a long day or looking to impress family and friends, this recipe will satisfy every palate and create memories around the table. Let's dive into the secrets of making a hamburger steak so succulent, so irresistible, that it becomes a family favorite for years to come. Begin with the heart of the dish, the beef. Choose ground beef with a bit of fat. An 80-20 blend strikes the perfect balance between tenderness and flavor. Leaner beef may yield a tougher patty, while too much fat can lead to a greasy texture. Place the ground beef in a large bowl and season generously with salt and freshly cracked black pepper. Take a moment to appreciate the foundational role seasoning plays. Salt not only enhances flavor, but it also helps the beef retain moisture, resulting in a juicy steak. For deeper flavor, add a dash of garlic powder, a pinch of onion powder, and a touch of Worcestershire sauce. These ingredients infuse the meat with savory complexity, reminiscent of classic steakhouse fare. Gently mix the seasonings into the beef, taking care not to overwork the mixture. Overmixing can lead to dense, tough patties. Form the beef into thick, oval-shaped steaks. About 3/4 of an inch thick is ideal. This shape allows for even cooking and a satisfying steak-like bite. Press a slight indentation in the center of each patty with your thumb. This simple trick ensures the steaks cook evenly and prevents them from puffing up in the middle. Set the patties aside and turn your attention to the onions. Caramelized onions are the soul of this dish, offering sweetness and depth that elevate every bite. Slice 2 large yellow onions into thin rings. In a heavy skillet, cast iron if you have it, melt 2 tablespoons of butter over medium-low heat. Add the onions, sprinkle with a pinch of salt, and let them cook slowly. Patience is key. Resist the urge to rush. Stir occasionally, allowing the onions to soften and take on a beautiful golden hue. As they release their natural sugars, they'll transform into a jammy, fragrant topping that adds irresistible richness to the hamburger steaks. While the onions work their magic, it's time to sear the patties. In a separate skillet, heat a tablespoon of oil over medium-high heat. When the oil shimmers, carefully lay the hamburger steaks in the pan. Listen for the satisfying sizzle. This is the sound of flavor developing. Sear the patties for about 4 minutes on each side, creating a deep brown crust that locks in juices. Don't press down on the patties. Let the heat do its work and enjoy the anticipation as the aroma fills your kitchen. Once both sides are beautifully browned, transfer the steaks to a plate and tent them with foil to rest. This resting period ensures the juices redistribute, delivering a tender, succulent bite. Now, it's time to create the gravy, a luscious, savory sauce that ties the entire dish together. In the same skillet used for the patties, reduce the heat to medium. If there's excess fat, pour off all but 1 tablespoon, leaving the flavorful brown bits stuck to the pan. These bits, known as fond, are culinary gold, packed with concentrated beef flavor. Sprinkle 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour into the skillet and whisk to combine with the fat, forming a roux. Let the roux cook for a minute or two, just until it takes on a light tan color and a nutty aroma. Slowly pour in 2 cups of beef broth, whisking constantly to prevent lumps. As the gravy comes to a gentle simmer, scrape the bottom of the pan to release every bit of flavor. Add a splash of Worcestershire sauce and a teaspoon of Dijon mustard to the gravy. These ingredients add a subtle tang and depth that make the sauce truly memorable. Season with salt and black pepper to taste, and let the gravy simmer and thicken for 5 to 7 minutes. If you prefer a richer gravy, you can stir in a tablespoon of heavy cream or a pat of butter at the end. The result is a velvety, glossy sauce that begs to be poured over the steaks. Return the hamburger steaks and any accumulated juices to the skillet, nestling them into the gravy. Spoon the caramelized onions over each patty, letting their sweetness mingle with the savory sauce. Cover and let everything simmer together for a few minutes, allowing the flavors to meld and the steaks to finish cooking through. The aroma at this stage is nothing short of intoxicating, a promise of the comfort and satisfaction to come. As you prepare to serve, consider the perfect accompaniments. Creamy mashed potatoes make an ideal partner, their buttery smoothness soaking up the rich gravy. Steamed green beans or roasted carrots add a pop of color and freshness, balancing the hearty flavors of the main dish. A sprinkle of fresh parsley or chives lends a burst of brightness, making the plate as beautiful as it is delicious. When you cut into the hamburger steak, you'll notice how tender and juicy the meat is, how the caramelized onions melt into each forkful, and how the luxurious gravy ties everything together. Each bite delivers a symphony of flavors and textures: the savory, beefy richness of the steak, the deep sweetness of the onions, and the silky, robust gravy that envelops it all. It's a dish that feels both nostalgic and special, a reminder of the joys to be found in classic comfort food. But beyond the taste, there's something deeply satisfying about preparing this meal from scratch. The process, the careful caramelization of onions, the searing of the beef, the patient whisking of gravy, becomes a ritual, a way to slow down and connect with the act of cooking. As the kitchen fills with warmth and fragrance, you're reminded that the best meals are those made with intention and care. If you'd like to add a personal twist, consider incorporating mushrooms into the gravy for an earthy, umami boost. Or try adding a splash of red wine for depth and sophistication. For a Southern-inspired touch, serve the hamburger steak over creamy grits instead of potatoes. The recipe is endlessly adaptable, inviting you to make it your own. When the meal is ready, gather your loved ones and share in the simple pleasure of a home-cooked dinner. There's a special joy in watching faces light up with the first bite, in savoring the warmth and comfort that only a dish like this can provide. Whether it's a weeknight treat or a weekend indulgence, juicy hamburger steak with caramelized onions and rich gravy is more than just food. It's an experience, a celebration of the everyday magic that happens in the kitchen. So tonight, embrace the timeless appeal of this classic dish. Savor the process, delight in the flavors, and enjoy the sense of accomplishment that comes from creating something truly delicious. With every bite, you'll taste the love and care that went into each step, and you'll be reminded that the best meals are always the ones made at home.